let's do this. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, sorry. We'll start. So my first sewing project of this year is I kind of want to do a winter dress. I know I already have this one, and it does keep me pretty warm in the winter time, but I want to make more. So I want one more before winter ends. I want another warm, cozy dress. I was gonna say blanket, but that's not what we're making. We're making a dress. Oh, I almost said blanket again. Anyway, I do have this blanket that is a flannel, just like this one. Except for this one's like newer. It's never been used or something because it is super soft, super super plushy. Is that the word I was trying to say? Fluffy? I think I was trying to say fluffy and plushy. It's super fluffy. It's nice and soft and fluffy, and I love it. So I don't think it's ever been used. I got it at the thrift store a while back ago because I loved the design on it and I thought it would be a cute dress. I already went through the process of undoing all the, I was gonna say hem, that's not the word either, of doing all the binding, whatever, on the side. And I undid all those because even though this is a queen, I want to do like a really big dress design. So I'm kind of a little worried about having enough fabric. If it was like this pattern, I wouldn't be stressed about it. But I want to do something a little bit grander. So I was a little stressed, a little worried about it. So I undid all the rolled hem thingies, all the binding on the side, the seams on the side, whatever we want to call it. I can't think of the word right now. My brain is scattered. This is what I get for drinking hot chocolate before this. So yeah. So this is the fabric I'm going to do. The design I want to do is like my wedding dress. So I'll put a picture like right up here. And it's the design of my wedding dress. It's this big, poofy, fluffy dress that I love. Love. I call it my wedding dress. I don't actually wear it for a wedding, but I wear it all the time and I love it. And it's super comfy, super cozy, tons of room to move around in. I just want to make a winter dress, an everyday winter dress out of it. But I have a problem. I made this dress in 2021. I'm going to say 2021. Yeah, I made it in 2021. But I, back then, didn't take notes. I still, besides YouTube, I do not take notes on what my sewing projects were, what I did, what I didn't do. I know, dumb move. Thank heavens I have YouTube for this now. But I don't take notes. And I didn't take notes of this dress. And I kind of made it up as I went along. I can't say I made it up completely, but I kind of shoved some things together to make this dress. Originally this dress, the skirt was a different dress. It was going to be a button-down dress. And so the skirt was for a button-down, and I had completely made that dress. The only thing I needed to do was assemble the buttons and buttonholes. And I tried it on and was like, and wore it around, pinned where all the buttons were going to be, wore it around. And I was like, I actually hate this dress. I cannot stand it, didn't like it. So I undid it. And then quickly built another dress that was white for the event I needed. And then I've never worn that dress again either. So I undid that dress because it was mostly just the top that I didn't like, but the skirt was still big, beautiful. And I had enough fabric that I rebuilt the top. And I actually used this pattern here, except for you can't see it very well because it's in a plastic bag. And yes, I have two of them. I used this pattern here. You'll probably see it again up here. I use this pattern of Simplicity 3736. And I did use the original sleeve that you could see on the blue one. I did use that sleeve when I made the pattern or made the dress, and then I absolutely hated those sleeves. So I cut myself my own arms hole, my own arm's eye, and I just made up an arm's eye. Totally made it up. Just was like, cut, and then did the same on the other side, matched it, went cut, and that was it. Like, actually, I pinned it on myself. I was like, here, I put it on myself and pinned where I thought the arm's eye should be, and then cut it. And then I decided to do like bishop or bell sleeves, those little poofy sleeves you can see up there, that little poofy sleeve. And it's 3/4. It's a 3/4 sleeve. Sometimes I push it up just above my elbow. Sometimes it sits all the way down and it's 3/4 sleeves. So yeah, I know I used this top for the dress. I know I recycled the skirt from a different pattern, but I don't remember what pattern I used to make the skirt, but I recycled that skirt to make this dress, which is why the hem on this dress is really kind of funny, is because it's still hemmed for the first dress, and I just never re-hemmed it for this one, so the hem is really kind of funny, but I don't give a crap, and I don't want to waste the time and the energy to shorten the dress, and B, like, spend the time and the energy to make it pretty and even and wonderful. Also, I do remember when it came to those sleeves, those bell, bishop, whatever you want to call them sleeves, I made up the pattern. I literally had took a sleeve pattern, retraced on a piece of paper, cut it, spread it out, and was like, yeah, I think this will work. And did like 3 mock-ups till I got the poopiness that I wanted. And then that was it. I, for the life of me, went through all my patterns, all of them, and I cannot find that pattern of that sleeve at all. So, yeah. Here's my dilemmas. A, I already kind of know the top is this pattern. Sleeve, I've lost. Bottom was a different pattern. I don't want to use this pattern because it is a big giant rectangle and it's gathered. I know I will not have enough fabric of this for that. So this bottom, Niske, once again, we're not using it. Top, we will use. Sleeves, I did, while I was going through all my patterns, pull out some sleeves. And this pattern, Vogue 7675, is a same kind of sleeve, except for longer, because I do want this one to be full length and not 3/4 length. But it is that big bell bishop sleeve. Sorry, I can't remember if they're called bell or bishop, so that's why I'm calling them both. So it is that big giant sleeve. I'm probably just going to use this one's pattern for the dress. And then for the skirt, I just got this skirt pattern, Simplicity 1691. I literally just got it like a week ago. I do have other skirt patterns I do use, but I'm thinking just for funsies, I'm going to use this one. It does have a panel right here in the front, which is super nice because then I'm going to set you down. Because then I can put one panel and then fold the other panel on top, because you're going to have that overlap, because that's what this dress is a wrap. So I can put the one panel down and then put the other panel over the top, and I have a little bit of overlap. So instead of making one front panel, I'll make 2 front panels. So that's why I'm thinking about going with this one. Is A, it's not a circle skirt, because once again, I don't think I can make a circle skirt out of this, plus some, and then have enough to make the top. So, but if I have a bunch of triangles, I can lay the triangles where it's like triangle here, triangle here, triangle here, triangle there, and then they kind of like piece and pattern themselves together. Which now I'm sitting there thinking maybe that would be great for the rectangle, but then it's not voluminous enough. But anyway, pattern, you know what I'm saying. Triangle up, triangle down, triangle up, triangle down. It kind of makes a rectangle or parallelogram. Anyway, and then that's what I'm going to do for the skirt. So if any of that made sense, I'm glad it made sense to you, because it made sense to me. If not, what I'm doing is I'm going to try to make this dress, but I don't have the pattern for this dress anymore, and I don't remember what I did. And I'm just going to use those 3 patterns to make that dress. So with this flannel dress, I used a lining. I used a cotton bed sheet lining for the whole entire dress because flannel tends to fray on me really, really bad. Don't want that. So to make it more sturdier, I did a lining. Go away, Gannett. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to use a white cotton bed sheet lining. So I'm going to use that, hopefully, that white cotton bed sheet lining as a mock-up, and hopefully it all works out in one go, and then I can unassemble it and use it as a pattern to cut the flannel out. So that's the game plan. I'm going to go make a mock-up now using the lining fabric. Cross our fingers and hope that it works and that I don't mess up and have to keep making more mock-ups. Yikes. Okay. Oh, the sleeve. Oh, the sleeve is gonna kill me. Okay. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't think the sleeve is long enough. Not at all. Not in the slightest, considering my hand is like literally my fingers. And then technically, okay, so technically this is supposed to fold over like so. But even then, my fingers are still like I have to admit, I did extend the pattern because when I put the pattern up to my arm, it only, sorry, don't mind this sleeve. This is my my long johns. So don't mind this sleeve. But anyway, so when I put the pattern up to my sleeve, it only went to like 3/4 length, so I added like 3 more inches, which I guess I didn't need to because I have this. Even then, I don't know what happened, but the sleeve is stupid long. And it's hilarious. Anyway, if this was like shortened, I do think I like this sleeve. I like that it has a little bit of poof at the top. I like how big it is. It's just a little too long. Okay, moving on. The skirt is awesome. Oh, sorry, I just pricked myself. That hurt. Ow. Pricked myself on the pin here. I have this front panel that like overlaps beautifully. So here's the front panel on this side, here's the front panel on this side, and there's a little bit of overlap. Technically it should be more, but it's not doing it. But either way, when I walk, you don't see in, and if I spread my legs, you don't see in. Okay, if I spread my legs really far, you can see in. But it covers, it's modest, and it's apparently big enough that I could gather. I had to gather it. So, woohoo! That's exciting. Always a bonus when you can gather. Okay, the top, we have a little bit of problems, but they're really, really, really minor. I extended the pattern 2 inches on the waist because I have to generally do that with 1950s patterns because they're too short-waisted for me. I really kind of didn't need to do that. I only needed to do probably about 1 inch. Because it does, like this is my natural waist. It is a little bit longer, about like 1 inch too long. It keeps trying to ride up to where my natural waist is, and then we have problems up here. So I do think I will only add 1 inch to it in the future. And I'm sorry if I keep hitting my mic. I'm not used to having a mic. Up here, once again, I probably just need to take 1 inch up here, which once again is pretty normal for me in patterns. If I want the pleats, darts, not pleats, if I want the darts in the right spot, I'll need to take up 1/2 inch to 1 inch up here. And then it does extend, as you can see on this side, past my shoulder a little bit. So I will probably need to trim that off. But I'm going to leave the pattern this mock-up as it is when I lay it on top of the flannel and cut it together. I'm going to leave the top and the skirt exactly as it is and then take off what I need to down the road, because now adding bulk to it, I don't know if it's going to how much I will need to get cut off, because you know, we're adding another layer, we're adding bulk. Plus I would rather have more that I can take off later. So the waist is fine. It's a little snug, but I can just add a teeny tiny to the waist part, and then up here I kind of need to take it in a little bit, which once again is not unheard of for me to have to do that. So I'll just have to taper this in a little bit. So mock-up is great. I was gonna say mock-up is great, because it really is. Besides the sleeve, there's nothing I really can complain about. It's just minor adjustments that I normally have to make with patterns anyway, whether they're modern or old. It's this sleeve, which once again is really not that bad. Like, I probably should just have left the pattern as it is and not extended the 3 inches. I'm probably going to, when I unpick this, undo the next like 3 inches. Like, do I want to undo the 3 inches down here, or do I want to do the 3 inches up here? I don't know. I might undo the 3 inches, see how I like it, remake the sleeve, reset, you know. Yeah, I might just undo the bottom part, cut off 3 inches, try it all on again and see. But other than that, I think I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go the final thing. I only have one other problem, which I just realized as I was trying this on, is my other dress, my wedding dress, is I actually hooked and barred it. Okay, I originally hooked and barred it, put hooks and bars until I rubbed through, and then they started getting a hole from the hooks and the bars. And then I did buttons and buttonholes, except for like reverse. So like this outer layer is the button and it faces towards me, and the buttonhole is on the inner layer. So it's like inside out buttons. I'm gonna have to figure out how I want to assemble this together, how I want to like hook it together. If I want to do hook and bars, or probably not hook and bars because I ran into that problem. See if I want to do buttons, and then, or see if I want to do ties. I'll probably end up leaning towards buttons. But if I lean towards buttons, then I run into the problem. I don't know if I have buttons for this. I do have a big jar of buttons. I just don't know if I have buttons that I would like to go with the fabric. So I'm gonna have to hurry and go through my button stash and see if I have buttons that I will like for this project. I didn't think that one through. Okay, so I'm gonna take this mock-up off and I'm going to fix the sleeve, see if I like it, and then move on. Okay. So this dress is brought to you by the snowpocalypse of January 26. Like, look how much snow it is. You can't even see the base of my patio chairs. Or if you come over here, it's almost to the window. The base of the window. My poor little bush is just buried in snow. Oh. There's just so much of it. Oh my gosh. So the dress is now on a rush order to keep me warm through the rest of the snowpocalypse and the week we will have of being in the teens. Anyway, I'm pretty blessed that in my area of Pennsylvania that we haven't lost power yet. So I do have power to put a rush order in on this dress, which I'm definitely needing because I'm not looking forward to the week of being in the teens weather. Yikes. I hate the cold. I hate snow. I hate the cold. This is my nightmare. So, normally I do the tops and check them and fix all my problems before adding the skirt. I didn't do that this time. I also don't mind my long johns. It's freezing. As you saw earlier, we're in the middle of a snowpocalypse. And I hope you also don't hear my neighbors snow blowing our driveway. But anyway, it kind of bit me in the butt to put the skirt on before checking everything in the top, but it is what it is. I just will have to fix some things. But anyway, biggest problem is, once again, the shoulder. I did not fix it. I did not change anything about it. So it's the same problem as the mock-up because I sewed it exactly as the mock-up. So I still need to go through and fix that. And then cut a little bit off the arm's eye. Which then should be, like, the only problem I have, I did actually sew this in a little bit tighter up here. I might need to go a little bit more. Because I knew I had to fix that problem before sewing the skirt on. So I did do that and just kind of guesstimated and weaned it. And it worked. The skirt, on the other hand, I knew I needed to raise it about an inch, and I raised it about an inch. I actually think I need to raise it a tiny bit more because you could probably see that it goes in right here and then it pops out, like literally it's like a quarter of an inch. It just... This is my natural waistline. Like, seriously, if I put my hands, that's my natural waistline. You can see it go in and then pop out right before the seam. So I need to take it up like a quarter of an inch. It frustrates me because that was not easy, going through all these gathers and trying to make them even. I don't even feel like they are that even, but they are even. Even-ish, but I do leave it straight right here in the front, on this front little quadrant, just because it's easier to fold over when there's not all the gathers, and then you don't really want too much gathers in the front while you're kicking. At least I don't like it, but I did like how I made it match up. It was so perfectly even matching up. It did the same thing on the mock-up. It was like actually just ever so slightly off. So excited that they matched up. But now I have to redo it all, and I don't want to. But I'm going to fix the shoulder seam first, take it in by the bunches that I need to do, which, once again, that's pretty common for me to have to do that on vintage patterns, is take the shoulder seams up. So I'm going to do that first, and then probably try it on again, and then fix the waist, and then... So I also need to cut out sleeves because I haven't even cut those out yet. And I also need to decide if I want a collar or not, which leads me to another problem. My other problem with the collar is I don't know if I'm going to have enough fabric for the collar. So my deciding factor if I'm going to have a collar or not is if I have enough fabric to make a collar or not. At least just one side that faces outward, and then like the inside can be the cotton lining or a couple layers of the cotton lining. It would be awesome if it was both sides, but at least the one that sticks outwards. At least with my wedding dress, it is literally just the one side sticking outwards, I do believe. I'm 90% sure that's what it is. I'll have to go check. But if I have enough fabric to do, I just tapped my mic, I'm sorry. If I have enough fabric to do the collar on at least the outer facing side, then I'll possibly do a collar, but I still need to decide. I also need to find buttons still, because I haven't gone through my button stash to see if I have buttons. And now the snowpocalypse happened, and I have to do with buttons in the stash because I ain't going out and having my husband drive in that weather. That is awful. Okay, let's do this, I guess. Hi. I'm tired. It's been a long day. Okay, okay, so I have made some alterations and some changes. First I took in the shoulder seam up here at the top on both sides by like half an inch, I believe. Yeah, like half an inch. And that is sitting way better. Like the pleats are in the right spot and everything. Then I cut the arm's eye. I cut it a little low over here on the sides. Oops, my bad. But anyway, I cut the arm's eye so it's actually sitting at the edge of my shoulder. And then, you know, with seam allowance, it'll be at a nice spot. So, yeah. So, arm's eye's a little big, but it is what it is. Okay, so we got the arm's eye, we cut it, we fixed the shoulder seams. I cut the neckline too because, you know, once I took it in a 1/2 inch, it was sitting pretty tall in the back. It is still kind of tall in the back, but I may or may not have a collar, so we'll solve that problem when we get there. And then for the waistline, it is now at my waist. I raised it about like a 1/2 inch, not 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, just like a littlest amount, 1/4 inch on the back and the sides. And then I tapered it from like right here from this front seam all the way over. And I raised this by like a 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches, not a 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches. So if I fold this over, you can see right here, like it's 1.5 inches. I took it up, just so that this little spot here wasn't being gapey like it was before. It was a little open and gapey. I actually have that problem on my other one. It's just ever so slightly gapey. So I just raised it up by like that 1.5 inches, and it seems to help. Like the darts are in the right spot. Everything seems to be in a straight line. We don't have the gappy in the front. It's sitting nice and flat against my chest. So that I need to remember for the future, because that was a game changer. This is the same sleeve that was on this side. I just oopsied a million times making this sleeve. If you look, like the ruffles are on the outside. This part is inside out. This part's not inside out. I put it on the wrong arm. I oopsied 1,000 times making this sleeve. It's the end of the day. I'm tired. So the sleeve's a decent, it's still a tiny bit long, as you can see. It's like, but if I stick my arm out, see it's still the tiniest bit long. But, and I have like a full range of motion. I mean, it's a little tight right here when I have my arm straight up, but I have a full range of motion. So, yay, even with the sleeve on backwards, I have a decent range of motion. My only concern is it seems really big now. When it was long, I mean, don't get me wrong, when it was long, I do remember it being big, but it seems somehow poofier. Just right here, it seems poofier than it was. I don't know, it just seems poofier. And now I'm like, I don't know if I like it because it's just so poofy. So, I did go through all my patterns, and I think what I'm going to do is I should pull this out so you can actually read it. But I think I'm going to do the pattern from the sleeve from this pattern, because I've done a sleeve from this pattern and I liked it. And so I kind of thought I would try it again. So I'm going to do this advanced 8488. I have done the little, you could probably see it right there. I have done the little puff sleeve. That's what I used for the Snow White. I'm thinking about doing the long sleeve. But instead of having like the ruffle on the bottom, I'm going to still do like the collar on the bottom, the big cuff. So I'm thinking about doing this sleeve, trying out this sleeve, because it is like an equal puff the whole way down. And I think I like that better than like this. This is way too big and puffy at the bottom. I don't feel like I like it anymore. I thought I liked it. It looks nicer when it's like short sleeve, half a sleeve, but I don't think I like it when it's a full sleeve. It's a little too poofy and it's a little too weird. I don't like it. So I'm going to try this advanced sleeve real quickly and put it on this sleeve. Well, I'm going to make a mock-up of it with actual mock-up fabric, because I'm running out of white fabric. That's the exact same that I used on the rest of this. I think I have enough to make like 2 more sleeves and possibly a collar, but I'm running really low. That was a king size sheet, so that's why I have enough for, you know. Anyway, so I'm going to use mock-up fabric for that. Go through my mock-up fabric, use mock-up fabric to make a sleeve, because I don't want to waste any of the good fabric anymore. And then hopefully I like that sleeve and we can move on in life. Okay, so I have made a second mock-up and put it on. I have mixed feelings. It is definitely less poofy down by the wrist area, and it's like even the whole way down. I do like that. Oh, anyway, it's a decent length. Like if I stick my arm out straight out, it's about where it needs to be. So it's a lot decent of a length. I enjoy that. It is more poofier at the top than this one is. So I'm on the fence because like I don't feel like it's that big of a difference having it that poofy on the top versus this one. So I'm like, and it's not gonna be that hard, I don't think, to take the top from this one, move it over to this one. So, or the same arm's arch thingy. Anyway, that is a string, a long string. That's probably my gather string. Anyway, so I don't know which top I want to go with. I think I'm gonna go probably with the less poofy one and less gathered one. When it comes to arms motion, I feel like this one's a little bit tighter, but this one's tiny bit tighter than this one. So maybe I will go with this arm's eye. But than that, I think we're good. I mean, it's a decent length. I like the poofiness, the even poofiness the whole way down. Am I absolutely in love with it? No, but it's better than this. So I think I'm going with this top, but the rest of this pattern. So I guess that means I'm officially ready to cut this out in the original pattern, in the end result fabric. I need to come up with a word for that. I need to know what the word is for that. But yeah, I guess I'm ready to cut the official sleeves. Yikes. Yeah. Also, I keep meaning to tell you guys, and I keep forgetting, this sleeve that was on this side earlier, I did shorten it by 3 inches. That's why it's all weirdo looking compared to this side and different. It's because I had taken it all apart, shortened it by 3 inches, put it all back together. The skirt the pattern that I used for the skirt, it is not a full length skirt. I just automatically knew it wasn't going to be a full length skirt and go all the way to the ground. So I put a tape measure to my belly button or my waistline, which is generally where your belly button's at, all the way down to the ground. Was like, oh, it's 42 inches. And then did the same thing with the pattern of every pattern piece. I put the tape measure at the top where the waist is, measured all the way down to 42 inches and cut. So that pattern, in case you are going to ever use it in the future, is not actually floor length. It is not, okay? Oh, it's just the way it is on Sally. Okay, I was like, wow, the sleeves look really lopsided. I haven't fixed sewn the inside part of the cuff on the sleeves yet. So like this side right here is longer than this side because I still need to iron them and actually sew the inside of them. And then it's just sitting a little lopsided on Sally. But anyway, and Sally is on top of a 5-gallon bucket full of rice. Ooh, that needs to be fixed. Sorry. Okay. OCD fixing. Anyway, Sally is standing on top of a 5-gallon bucket full of rice just to A, help this skirt drop a little bit, and B, so I can hem it. I still need to do a collar, and I really kind of lucked out, kind of didn't luck out with the collar. So over here I have the collar. I have one collar piece and then the 2 white linings. They are beautiful. They don't have any seams whatsoever. They are one solid piece. This piece, however, which will probably be the back side, the side that nobody's ever really going to see of the collar. As you can see, I did have to put a seam in it and make it out of 2 pieces. Because that was the only way I could get a collar. And it sucks, but it is what it is. I also have the facing. Oh, it's supposed to be on my chair here, but it all fell off. I have the facing over here. It's supposed to all be on my chair, but it kind of fell off. And it is literally just made out of scraps, tons and tons of like scrap pieces, and they're put together, sewn together. So that's gonna be the interfacing, is a bunch of scraps, because that's all I had, and I thought it would be better to have the interfacing be out of this flannel than the white. I know it's not going to be anything anybody ever really sees, but as you're walking, the dress does flip and turn sometimes like this as you're walking. And I have it the same time with my other dress. I actually just did the white, plain white with my other dress and not the fancy flowered outside on the inside. So that is something I regret doing on the other one. So I knew I wanted to put a bit of interfacing that was the same as the outside fabric. That way it looked prettily when I walk and kick this skirt piece out. The inner side, this inner piece, I will probably just have a white interfacing. I don't think it's going to matter as much. If I do have enough to cover it, which I doubt, I really, really doubt, then I'll put the flannel on the inside. But I do have at least enough to go around the top of the bodice and hopefully the front skirt panel. I did not count, I did not measure it and count and make sure it was all enough of the pieces, but I just used every little scrap piece of flannel I had left that I could make a 3-inch wide interfacing. So you can even see this is where the edge was. I do have, like, this piece is the top that is supposed to be around the neck and rounded. So I know that is the correct facing, but everything else is just 3-inch strips, 3-inch white strips, as much as I could get. So hopefully that's enough. Hopefully. So anyway, now I have to go and assemble that collar so I can put it on the dress and move on with life. We're almost done. We're on the home stretch. Just gotta do the collar, the interfacing, finish the sleeves, buttons, and hem. Oh, that's still so much. Okay, so here is the top in all its glory. Yes, I need to tack down that collar. And yes, I screwed up on the collar, and it makes me really mad that when I ironed it before putting the collar on the dress, it wasn't like this. And then once I put it on the dress, the collar is like that. And it has the iron facing, whatever, the interfuse iron facing. So it's kind of stuck like that now, and it makes me really mad that I screwed up. I don't know how, and it's on both sides. I don't know how, because I swear it looked like this when I did it. And I know I have it on the right side because we have this line on the back. Oh, and it makes me really mad. Makes me mad. Makes me frustrated because I swear I ironed that, so that wasn't a problem. But anyway, that's besides the point. Right now we are talking about buttons. So I have like 4 options. I went through my button stash, and here are my 4 options. Option number 1 is these cute little butterflies. They're cute. I love them. They're the most adorable little buttons, but they're just too small and they don't fit the motif. So I'm not thinking those ones. Same with the flowers. I thought flower on flower action, they would be cute. They're actually the buttons I have on my other dress, but they're facing the opposite way. They're facing my body, not outwards, but yeah. You can also see my unpicking strings that I need to clean up. Yeah, but once again, they're kind of too small, so no. Okay, then I have some plain old round buttons, which are nice. They're a decent size. They're okay, but I don't really, I don't know. I'm a little impartial to the iridescent. Like, I apparently love iridescent because 3 out of my 4 button options are iridescent. But then I have like these white ones, and they're like the exact same button. See, they're like literally the exact same button, just one's iridescent and one's white. And I think I like the white ones more than the iridescent. Like, they're not the same color white, which kind of sucks.
but they just match the dress a little bit more than these shiny iridescent ones. So I guess I'm going with these white ones. Now to put in buttonholes, which for the first time ever, I'm really actually kind of nervous about putting buttonholes in because they're going horizontal and not vertical. And I feel like I have less error, less room for error. So I'm nervous. But anyway, I'm gonna go with these white ones. I wish they were a little bit bigger, but I'm not going to the store to buy 2 buttons. And I don't even know where to go buy buttons now that Joann's doesn't exist. I guess I would just have to go to one of the Amish stores or Michael's. Michael's might have some. I don't shop at Hobby Lobby, so and I really don't want to go shop at Michael's because I really don't care for that company. But this is the world we live in without Joann's. So white buttons it is. Okay. Arm needs to go further out. Okay, so I have worn this dress for a little while now, and I have realized a problem that I need to fix. And it's kind of dumb because I should have realized this problem earlier because I had this problem in my other dress, and I have fixed it with the hook and a bar. That is, if I lean forward, it gaps. Well, right now it doesn't because I have a safety pin, but it would normally gap, and you would see right in through this side. Yeah, so if you lean forward, do anything. So I need to put in like a snap here and a hook and bar here. My other dress, I just have a hook and bar here, but I do feel like it does need another snap, and I've just never done it. So this one, I'll probably put a snap here and a hook and bar here, maybe a hook and bar and another hook and bar down here. But yeah, I need to put some tiny hooks and bars in. Just some itty bitty baby ones, because that's what I have in the other one, is just a baby one right here. But yeah, definitely need that because you bend over and gapage. So yeah, just thought I would update you on that little bit.
So I know this wasn't like the grandest reveal, and that it's just lame in here in my sewing room and my craft room, but it is literally 9 degrees outside with like a wind chill of I don't know, but it says on my phone that it's 9 degrees outside and it feels like -4. I ain't going outside. Nope. Especially for just pictures. So I did it here in my office where it's warmer and cozier and I can be comfortable because feels like feels like -4 degrees is no, just no. I don't even like going outside when it's like 40 degrees to film these. So yeah. So my thoughts and feelings about the dress. It is inside my house, really warm and cozy. I know I'm gonna probably like this dress a lot because I like the other dress that I made. There is some getting used to some things. Like my other dress, like I said, it is 3/4 sleeves. And this one is not 3/4 sleeves. So my other one's like this length and this one's really long. And I purposely made the sleeves really long because I have a tendency to go like this. With my long sleeves and purposely stretch them out so it covers most of my hands and then the elbows. So I purposely made them a little long so I can do this. Just it's what I do. But I also try to make the cuff big enough that I can get it up around my elbow and do some cleaning, and then it shouldn't fall down because it's tight and a little snug around my elbow, which is what I did with my other one. Is I purposely made it tight enough so I can get it up over my elbow. And yes, I know I could have done it with little buttons and then flipped them, rolled them up, but that's way more work than I'm willing to put in. So that's what the cuffs are. I am disappointed, as I've told you earlier, very mad and disappointed on how the collar turned out and how you can see a little bit of the back and where the seam is. I swear I ironed it so it was like reversed, so there was more overhang on the back side, and I doubled and tripled and quadruple checked so I wouldn't have this problem. I do it every time I have collars. I try to, if I can English, I try to double, triple check to make sure. And if I mess up, normally like both sides are flat and even, so I can just flip it. This time I knew I couldn't make that mistake because I knew I had that seam that I wanted on the underside on this side. I knew I was gonna have that seam in the back. So I doubled, tripled, quadrupled, a million times checked. Somehow I still messed up. Also the buttons. I am not very pleased with the buttons. I wish this button was a little bit further over. And I don't like how the fabric bunches right there. And I don't know how to fix that. I don't know if you could even see that. Let's see if I can like scoot up and show you. I don't like it. I don't like that it does that. So I'm a little mad about that, and I feel like the buttons are too small. Like I said, I kind of wish they were bigger buttons, but that's what I had in my button stash that was similar colors to the dress, because I had like big black ones or some big heart-shaped ones, but they didn't match. So these were the only ones I had that were the biggest ones I had that matched. I also kind of wish I had pockets, because like my other winter dress, I don't have pockets, and I kind of wish I had them just to keep my hands warm. In my other dress that's like this one, I do have pockets in it, but I very rarely use them. So I thought I'd be fine without them, but I kind of regret it. But at the same time, I didn't have any fabric for pockets. I'm like super glad I didn't put pockets in them, because this is literally all I have left of scrap fabric. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is all I have left. And these are those 3-inch little fabrics that I made for the interfacing. So yes, I did have enough. The interfacing goes all the way down on this side, and trying to not flash too much skin, and on this side. Oh, apparently I have a string that I need to cut off. So both sides have interfacing all the way down, which is super cool. I mean, it's still pieced together little chunks like that, but you know, at least I have interfacing. I probably should have gone a little bit further in, but once again, I kind of was just using the scraps I had to even make the interfacing or the collar. I had literally spent 2 hours trying to lay the collar on every position known to man on that fabric just to get the collar. I know it's not on grain, it's not on pattern. I didn't care. I spent 2 hours just trying to figure out how I was going to get 2 pieces of collar on that little scrap piece of fabric I had. And I lucked out. I only had one way I could do it, with this outer piece being no seam and the backside having just the one seam. It was a tight squeeze, but we got it. So yeah, those are my thoughts and feelings. I like the dress. I think it's going to keep me warm and toasty during the winter months, which is great because, as I said, it is 9 degrees outside today, and we have another week of being below 20. I shouldn't say below 20, because we'll have a couple of days of 20 degrees. But yeah, we have another week of low 20s, high teens. I love winter. So I hope you like this video. If you do, please come back and watch some more, or go through all my other videos that I've made. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell notification and all that fun jazz. And I will see you hopefully in a couple weeks for Valentine's Day, because I need to make a Valentine's Day dress. So hopefully I'll see you in a couple weeks for Valentine's Day. Thank you for watching. Bye. Okay. Let's do this. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Now that I've been a weirdo, floppy sleeve, floppy sleeve. I need two of them. Floppy sleeve. It's just ridiculous how long this is like. Just tiny bit.
You know, you need to open it up and turn it into a bat wing.
I should. And then be like. It's floppy sleeve. Okay. Oh, how do I end my videos?